All right, Shalom. I want to begin by giving all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rahakwadash. All right, double honors to our beloved elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Shalom to the hopefully elect. And shalom to all the Akim pushing his truth with sincerity. It's the brother Atazwan from the GMS Columbus, Ohio branch, coming back again with another quick video through the Spirit. All right. And again, just continuing the series of GMS Columbus medicines. All right. And I believe this is the 4th installment. All right. And again, like I said, as I go through the various herbs, that I take on a daily, in my preferred method, teas. All right. Lord willing, I want to start to dive into tinctures as well and making my own tinctures, things of that nature, and, showing how to, make it as I dive deeper, all right, into my studies. But just covering another herb, if you will, that, I've been using as of late, which is clove, okay? Now, real quick, I want to just get an image of it, all right? These are cloves, all right? And again, just going to go over some of the benefits of it, all right, and put it out there through the Spirit. And I've been adding this to my latest teas that I've been drinking, or one of my regulars, which is ginger, dandelion root, cinnamon, and a dash of cayenne. All right, so as of recently, I believe a couple times maybe I've swapped out the cinnamon for clove, and the clove has a very, very distinct taste and powerful taste, almost like the cinnamon, where you get a almost a sweetness, I would say, from it, and it's very prominent taste. But it isn't, I would say, as harsh as like a wormwood, which is very overpowering. All right. But clove tastes very, very well. All right. In my eyes. Okay. So just a quick video, man. I'm gonna just cover this one herb. All right. In today's segment. All right. But real quick, let's get a preset. I was thinking about, put a BLB up as well. Psalms 104. This is Psalms 104, and let's see. Yep, Psalms 104 and 14. It reads, let me see. I'm gonna start at 13. It says, He watereth the hills from his chambers, the earth is satisfied with the fruit of thy works. He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and the herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. Right. It says, He causeth the grass to grow for the cattle, and the herb for the service of men. All right. Let's look up the word service, see what they give us. Service, labor, service. All right. Service of the Most High, work, servile, act, servitude, tillage, effect. All right. Ultimately, the herb, feeding our cattle, so on and so forth to benefit our work. All right. So on and so forth. But, just applying it to, the segment. So in the herb for the service of men, right? So these herbs, help serve us, all right, in our, daily lives, so on and so forth. All right. Let me see. You cause the grass to grow for the livestock and the plants for people to use. Right. So I'm reading in the NLT. It says, You cause grass to grow for the livestock and plants for people to use. You allow them to produce food from the earth. Right. And like the scriptures speak about, the herbs and things, etc., were meat. Okay. And again, these things have properties and things that help benefit our health, so on and so forth, and aid us in different ways. Okay. So jump into the benefits of clove. It says cloves are nutrient-dense flower buds, rich in eugenol, offering potent antioxidants, antimicrobial, and anti-inflammatory properties. These promote oral health, aid digestion, reduce pain, especially toothaches, support liver health, and help manage blood sugar, right? So I see a lot of people, or I would say a lot of vegans, if you will, who use clove to make certain toothpastes, so on and so forth, or they'll mix like clove. I think I know one combination in particular is like clove and maybe like baking soda type mixture, so on, some to that effect. But a lot of people use clove, in natural toothpastes. All right, it says and help manage blood sugar. It says they are also high in magnesium, promoting bone health. Beautiful. All right, so for elderly folks, who may deal with frail bones, so on and so forth. Clove is a good supplement to help aid in that to keep the bone strong. Bullet point 1, it says oral health. Cloves contain compounds that fight bacteria, reduce gum inflammation, and treat toothaches. High in antioxidants, says they are rich in eugenol and natural antioxidants that reduce oxidative stress, which contributes to chronic diseases. Man, beautiful, man. And, we all suffer from major infirmities, man. Some knowingly, some unknowingly, man, but we all have disease in us, man. And that's just a fact. Being in Babylon the Great, you're prone to having something, because what? Now, especially in 2026, our immune systems are weaker. We've been raised on GMOs, so our DNA is being attacked, all right? And we're lacking in a lot of properties, all right? Or natural properties that help us heal. We all have some form of parasites, et cetera, man. That's why Lord willing, man, pray and hope, man, that I'm gonna try to do a heavy detox because, I'm young. But again, just, growing up in the 2000s, what they call it, Gen Z baby, and growing up where I grew up, and shit I was fed and taught throughout my generation, you know what I'm saying? And, just not finding, the route of health and, promoting health. And like I said, again, being raised contrary to that, I'm dealing with all types of shit, that has, caught up to me quick in my 26 years on the planet, man. All right. That's why, like I said, I'm doing these series to, Lord willing, spread the wisdom and knowledge concerning the herbs and the things that heal. Lord willing, so I can hold myself accountable and, heal myself from the things I'm suffering, Lord willing, being the Lord's will. All right, but again, using the natural herbs and things and medicines that the Heavenly Father has, put on a planet for us, man. And like I said, again, we understand that these things are tainted, all right, but, that's why prayer is vital when taking these things in belief that they will heal you, all right. And again, like I said, I'm going through some of these herbs and the certain things I'm dealing with, primarily gut issues and things of that nature, they do help, all right. You feel the ease that they bring, when you drink your teas, so on and so forth, take your tinctures, you can feel the relief that you obtain, all right, when you're dealing, like I said, for me, with gut issues, so on and so forth. Okay. It says, bullet point 3, digestive health. Cloves act as a carminative, aiding in digestion, reducing gas, and lowering nausea. Liver health. It says the antioxidants rich eugenol helps protect the liver from free radicals that cause damage. Right, man. The liver is a very, very important function, of your body. Let's see. How important is the liver? Let's just read something real quick. It says the liver is a vital organ that you cannot live without. It is your body's largest internal organ, and after the brain, it has the highest number of complex responsibilities, performing over 500 essential functions every day. Wow. Wow. And then see, this is how you know that we were fashioned. This isn't no Big Bang Theory, a random ass explosion from two atoms, which some two mysterious atoms collide and, we were sitting on now everything's in order. You know what I'm saying? The brain is made and no, man. This is a complex machine, all right, made of flesh and tissues, atoms, elements, so on and so forth that were, fashioned together, okay? Again, different organs, so on and so forth. Your body is literally a machine, man. All right. Let's read. It says the liver acts like a highly effective chemical factory for the body, managing everything from detoxification to energy storage. Filtration and detoxification, it cleanses the blood of toxins, including alcohol, drugs, and metabolic waste. Products like ammonia. Metabolism and energy. It says the liver converts nutrients from food into fuel your body can use. It stores excess glucose and glycogen, and it releases it when you need energy, keeping your blood sugar steady. Bile production, it produces about a quart of bile daily, which is necessary for digesting fats and absorbing vitamins. Protosynthesis, the liver creates most of the proteins needed for blood clotting, stopping you from bleeding out after a cut. Albumin, maintaining fluid pressure in your body, it's like in your blood vessels. Immune support, it houses specialized immune cells that detect and destroy bacteria, viruses entering from the gut. Beautiful, man. And just even reading this, man, just, it was a cut, understanding, how important it is that we really, give our body the necessarily fuel and things that it needs, man, to function at its max capacity. That way we are able to heal, internal things, man. And like I said, just reading this, man, just really just shocked me. I didn't know that the liver had 500 essential functions, man. That's crazy. And again, like I said, you just think, and even to this day, you think of all the damage you do to your body, eating fucked up foods and, not treating your body like a machine and giving it the right fuel that it needs, man. Like I said, just hearing this is, I just got a different respect, I would say, or I just feel like, Lord willing, man, from now on, I'm going to take a higher precaution of what I'm putting into my body and making sure that everything that goes into my system is benefiting my system and not slowing it down, man. Because, I'll admit, Jake, in a lot of cases, is their own hurt. Drinking, excess drinking, things of that nature. Again, not giving the body the proper things it needs to function, man. Man, bro. But, I just thank Yahweh Shai for putting me through, my situations, that ultimately, are for my judgment, but all in all for my learning as well, man. Because again, we're new to all these things. We didn't grow up, going into these things or understanding these things, understanding things about the herbs, healing, diseases, your body's function. We just, thought you lived and you died. And, what I'm saying? Again, we didn't take any of these things serious. So, the Lord has put, a lot of us brothers in various situations where we're forced, to go into these things and tap into these things, not only to, benefit ourselves and heal ourselves, but to push these things amidst the congregation, that this information can go out and edify and help, whoever may need to be helped, man. Because like I said, just generations upon generations of self-inflicted hurt, just the things we learned, but ultimately, furthermore, dealing with the things that we were taught by Esau Edom and the things he has given us, and pushed upon our families and, them being ignorant to the fact, pushing it onto us, and again, try to break these cycles and, push a better way, man, moving forward, until Yahweh Shai comes. All right, and ultimately heals us holy, where we won't necessarily need the herbs and, things of nature. We'll just have new bodies, but even in that, as time goes on, these things will come back. We'll have knowledge on how to heal the body, being rulers and governors over the heathen, so on and so forth. We'll tap back into these things and know how to go into different, herbs and things and what, their properties, diets, so on and so forth, that ultimately, even, for the heathen living regular lives, they'll be able to, live to max capacity. They won't be immortal and changed like we are. But I do believe through the Spirit that once we set everything in its right order, men, women, and children, or, men and women will live longer. I do believe that wholeheartedly. You know what I'm saying? Even the heathen, again, they won't be immortal or anything, but I do believe that, you will see, men and women in their hundreds, like in the days of old, during the days of Noah, so on and so forth, men who lived up to 600, 700, 800, 900 years. All right. Like I said, I do believe that, that's just me speaking as a man. I can't say for sure, but, it'll make perfect sense. Because at that point, the world would be in a way better state. Food would be better. All right. And that curse would be uplifted. So everything will, reach its max capacity, even as a mortal. You'll be able to be more fruitful and live longer. I do believe that. But anyways, let's read the rest of these bullet points to get out of here. It says, I think we have bullet point 4. It says anti-inflammatory cloves can reduce systematic inflammation, potentially lessening soreness and joint pain. Bone health high in magnesium. They help maintain bone density and strength. Blood sugar regulation. They may help stimulate the pancreas and manage blood sugar levels. All right. And it just gives you a different few bullet points on how to use this. It says culinary, add ground whole cloves to curries, stews, or teas. Clove water, boil a few cloves in a water to make a tea beneficial for digestion and relieve soreness. Oral pain, chew a whole clove or use diluted clove oil to manage tooth pain. Right, you got brothers who deal with, cavities or have old cavities, so on and so forth. All right. Then they give you some precautions because, again, you got to use these things with balance and moderation. All right. So, again, dosage, things like that, and that's pretty much it, man. If Jake want to dive into these things further, they can. But, again, man, I'm going to just call it that. This is, I believe, the 4th installment. But, this is the benefits of clove. Again, something that I'm trying to add into my daily diet, so on and so forth. And, again, just pushing this to the congregation, man. Just, pushing better habits, pushing new dopamine, amidst the body. So with that, going to give all glory and praises to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Shalom, and to Allah.